So whilst Trump's tariffs are not directly targeting real estate, they are having a negative effect on US buyers and anyone else transferring from US dollars to euros. I told you we were going to be here for a while, mate. Just give Lazar a quick call and ask him because they might have moved it to a different Power BI. On the flip side, if the EU tariffs continue to affect the European market, the European Central Bank may also be forced to act as well and therefore increase rates. All right, should we go again? One more time?
Yeah. Can you explain what is going on with Trump's tariffs and the situation around them?
Well, it certainly is an interesting topic right now. Tariffs essentially are taxes placed on imported goods with the idea to protect local industries and make imports more expensive, thus encouraging people to buy domestically produced goods.
How do they affect international property buyers?
So whilst Trump's tariffs are not directly targeting real estate, they are having a negative effect on US buyers and anyone else transferring from US dollars to euros. These tariffs will continue to weaken the value of the dollar due to economic instability and create uncertainty in the overall market. This will lead to investors shifting their assets into safer investments like real estate, which will reduce the value of the dollar on a longer term basis. Let's put some numbers around it. If you were looking at changing $1 million back at the start of the year pre-tariff, you'd be looking at getting around 975,000 euros for your money. Now that we're seeing post-tariff, that same $1 million is around 915,000 euros, which is a 60,000 euro difference, or around 6% devaluation of the dollar against the euro.
What are some ways buyers can hedge against this uncertainty?
The current uncertainty around the tariffs points towards the further devaluation of the US dollar. There's a number of ways that international investors, certainly those using US dollar, can protect themselves. Lock in an exchange rate early. My advice here would be to work with a trusted FX partner who can advise you on the optimum time to transfer your dollars into euros, and in some cases even lock in a rate for up to 12 months in advance, giving you peace of mind against any future uncertainty. My advice would be to work with a financial advisor or wealth manager who can help structure the purchase for you in the most tax efficient way. Diversify your investment portfolio. Purchasing in a stable market like Spain is in itself a hedge against any future risk, specifically compared to other nations with more political and economic instability. My advice would be to act now. During times of uncertainty, a lot of people actually put off the decision of purchasing a home. However, what we should be doing is pivot, change your pricing strategy, factor in any difference into your making your offer, and actually lean on your real estate agent to guide you through this entire process. And also remember, with real estate, you make money when you buy, not when you sell, because it's much easier to control your entry into the property rather than you exit.
And how does this affect mortgage rates?
Trump's proposed sliding scale of tariffs may trigger inflation in the US. If that happens, the Federal Reserve may also be forced to increase interest rates, which would make borrowing costs for homeowners even higher than they currently are. So in comparison to Spain, where mortgage rates are still trading around 3%, that's a big difference in comparison to the US, which makes it still comparatively cheaper for US buyers. On the flip side, if the EU tariffs continue to affect the European market, the European Central Bank may also be forced to act as well and therefore increase rates. That's why it makes much more sense to lock in your interest rate at around 3% today.
Why is Spain a safe bet for real estate investment?
We've seen a significant increase in the number of buyers making inquiries coming from the US who are attracted to the political stability, lifestyle, and the healthcare. With strong and steady economic growth and positive forecast for infrastructure, tourism, and foreign investment, coupled with decreasing unemployment rate, the IMF have said that the economy is set to grow by 2.3% for 2025 in comparison to only 1% for the rest of the Eurozone. Property prices in Spain are still competitive in comparison to other European central hubs, and the legal framework now is well established to assist international investors.